Hey guys, what's up? Shadowlands back for another video. Today I wanted to go over what makes a hard video game hard. What makes a game harder than another one, even if they're part of the same genre, same play style, require the same skill sets. What makes one game harder than another? Why is Final Fantasy Tactics so much harder than Fire Emblem, even though both games are pretty freaking hard if you ask me? Game difficulty is different based on the person playing the game and the amount of time they've had to practice with it. A person who has never played a first-person shooter before is not going to be world-class at CSGO or COD. A person who has really bad reflexes and reactions probably shouldn't play Dance Dance Revolution, just as a person with bad foresight probably won't be as skilled at tactical RPGs. However, there are some aspects of games that make them difficult no matter how good the player is. Most importantly is the amount of multitasking a person has to do. The more you have to worry about one thing at once, the more difficult the game is. Some games force the players to focus on several things at once, like a lot of tactical RPGs, whereas others focus on one thing and one thing only. For example, in Combat Arms, for the most part, you are just looking for other people and then making a simple judgment as to whether to engage them or not. It's pretty simple, and a lot of first-person shooters are like that. On the flip side, most RPGs require a significant amount of multitasking. Fire Emblem is a great example. It's basically a more intricate version of chess where you have to worry about things like character type, elements of spells and weapons, and the stats of each character before each engagement, and make sure they perform well the entire game because that situation is constantly changing. The style of game, as well as the skill sets necessary to play effectively, affect the overall difficulty of the game. And the other important part in determining game's difficulty is the learning curve. If the fundamentals are easy, but the details and minor portions of the game are extremely complex, then becoming top tier may be extremely difficult, whereas just simply playing the game for leisure and casual stuff may be relatively easy. The best example of this is Pokemon. On its base level, any child can play it. They can beat the game, beat the Elite Four, move on, and have a great time. In competition, however, even the most hardened of tacticians struggle to create a winning team. You gotta worry about a ton of math behind each and every Pokemon, every move you use, all that stuff. Combat Arms is similar, where simply learning to play the game is fairly easy, just like any other PC shooter, but the learning the art of actually quickscoping and various competitive strategies may require hundreds, if not thousands of hours of practice. That's why competition comes in, and a lot of games like CSGO are another really good example of that, where any person can play casually and probably have a good time, roll a 1.0 KDR and just have a good night playing the game, but the really highly competitive players that go to tournaments and play for money, especially in the esports stuff, they train for dozens, hundreds, thousands of hours, getting all these amazing skins for their weapons. They look cool, they've played the game a long time, they're global elites, they're just the best of the best, and there's simply no beating them. It's just that simple. But that all being said, there are a lot of games that fall into different categories, and depending on what kind of game you play, you don't have to be the best at every single game. It can just be really fun to play a game, and you may not have to worry about that kind of stuff. You can suck at a game and still have a great time, and you can be absolutely great at a game and have a terrible time. That's kind of the way I see it with Combat Arms right now. Like, I sit down and I play Combat Arms for a while. Yeah, I can run a 3.0, even a 4.0 KDR without too much trouble, but I don't enjoy the game as much, and I love sitting down and playing Pokemon, which I find super freaking easy, but it's lots of fun. It's what I enjoy doing. But I'm going to end my commentary there, guys. Thank you for watching. Please rate, comment, subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video. Shadowlands out.
They made a mess here, but I got this. They're tapping in somewhere else. it quick. They're still falling in here. Let's get back to the archive.